box here today with a 357 average, and here's the first pitch. Hurd's gonna start here with a strike.
Certainly the momentum you will need is consistency right down the middle in order to sit this Charlotte team down, because as I said, this is a very talented team when it comes to the bat.
He's gonna follow that strike up with a ball here. One thing Hurd tended to do a lot last night against the Minutewomen of UMass was she would start her counts off 2-0, but she would bounce back immediately, but that ball is going to be fouled out to left field. It's going to bring the count to 1-2 here at the top of the first.
Abigail Knight, one of the 12 12 Charlotte players who's from the state of North Carolina. She's from Robbinsville, transferred from Boston College.
One of the 3 transfers. That ball's going to be high, bringing the count to 2-2. As Cummings had to stand up to get it.
So far, last season, Joy Hurd pitched in 20 games, 7 of those starting. Finished the season with a 6.3 record and a 3.71 ERA, and she'll retire the first player of the game today.
As Hurd gets her first strikeout of the day to start the game. A great way to start it off. Now in the box, Corey Hoffler, another player out of North Carolina in her 5th year here.
Hoffler from Harrisburg, North Carolina.
That first pitch being a ball, bringing the count to 1-0 with 1 out already here at the top of the first. Here's the second pitch. That's going to be a swing and a miss for Hoffler. Bringing the count to 1-1. Again, Hurd, the sophomore, has really improved her pitching from last year. And as you mentioned, her velocity has improved along with her control, and that fastball now is coming in at the upper 60s.
Hoffler started in all 58 games last season and finished the year with a 243 batting average, 34 for 144 at the plate, 9 home runs, 23 RBIs, 4 doubles, and then impressively enough, 4 steals.
Hurd comes in today with 19 innings played, and that ball's going to be grounded right to Hurd, and she's going to get it to Black for the easy ground and out. Now up at bat, catcher for UNC Charlotte, number 15, Lexi Winters. She steps in here with a 314 average. Here's the first pitch, and she's going to make contact, but it's going to be fouled behind the catcher in the count to 0-1 with 2 outs here. South Carolina looking to make quick work of this Charlotte team here to start off.
Lexi Winters, interestingly enough, she's from Lexington, South Carolina, not too far from here.
Homegrown talent here.
That's right.
About a 15-minute drive here from Columbia, South Carolina. Count's currently 1-1 with 2 outs. Winters looking to get on base. She's going to make contact, but that one's also going to be fouled out to right. Goes into the stands for a couple fans to get a souvenir.
And like you said, Winters, this is one of the most talented batters you have on that Charlotte roster, a 314 batting average so far this season.
Third to only Ariana Rohde and Abigail Knight. She's going to make contact. That's also going to go out to right field. Count's currently 1-2 with 2 outs. Hurd looking to get her second strikeout of the day. She gets the pitch, steps into it. It's going to be a ball there. And the count 2-2. And if you're Hurd here, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to really give it your all here and just end it here? Or are you going to try and play a little safe and potentially get to a full count?
Looks like we might be headed to a full count.
As that ball's fouled, keeping the count at 2-2.
Quite the battle here between these two early on.
As you mentioned, Winter's one of the best hitters for this UNC Charlotte team. That ball's going to be high, and there's that full count.
I think it says a lot about what she did in the offseason as well, Lexi Winters. Because, last season she started and played in 50 games. She finished the season with a 170 batting average, 19 from 112 appearances at the plate.
As Hurd walks her. So Winters wins that first battle between her and Hurd. And now up at bat, Ariana Rhodey, the best hitter for this UNC Charlotte team with a 353 average.
Yeah, last season, 36 games, 20 starts. She finished the year with a 250 batting average, 16 for 64.
It's going to be a strike to start off here for Hurd. Then the count to 0-1 with 2 outs and a runner on first.
But yeah, Rhodey, I mean, this is her 35th appearance at the plate. She's already developed a 354 batting average this season.
Just like that, Hurd finds herself up 0-2, and Rhodey finding herself down 0-2 with 2 outs and a runner on first.
This will be very interesting, or very impressive sit down if Hurd can pull it off right here.
Gonna be a ball there. Bring the count to 1-2.
Rhodey, a sophomore from Cranston, Rhode Island. I guess you'd say one of the few players not from the state of North Carolina or South Carolina on that Charlotte roster.
Hurd gets the pitch, gives it, and Rhodey's gonna hit it out right in between right and center field, and it's gonna hit the back wall and walk itself up, and all of a sudden Hurd comes in for a run, and Rhodey's gonna get herself on second base. An impressive play there by Rhodey, being down 0-2 and turning it into a run and a double.
And just like that, Charlotte is on the board. We said it coming into this game. This is a team that can do damage at the plate, and they've shown it out the gate today.
Now up at bat, Ella Chansey out of Athens, Georgia, the junior. Coming in with a 206 average. His first pitch, he's going to start with a strike. And Hurd's done a good job so far today with her first pitch being a strike right down the middle.
Yeah, it's just really got to find your rhythm and settle down. I know something like that previous play could really throw you off, but Hurd's done a really good job of keeping focus and really digging herself out of bad situations so far this season.
Rhodey looking to try and steal, and Cummings noticed it as after she got the ball, she pointed at her, saying, "I see you." Count currently 0-2 with 2 outs and a runner on second. And a swing and a miss. There's is Hurd's second strikeout of the day after South Carolina giving up a run to start, but pitch of the day. And that's going to be hit too, but it's going to be a foul ball, bringing the count to 0-1, already with 1 out for South Carolina.
Kiana Jones, the only player on the South Carolina roster not from the United States. She's from Surrey, British Columbia, transfer from UNC.
Second pitch. She's going to read that one well as it's a ball. We got to 1-1, and to address the field here for UNC Charlotte, we have Sam Gress in the circle, Lexi Winter here at catcher, Ariana Rhodey at first base, Gory Hoffler at third, Ella Chansey at third, Savannah Wynn at shortstop, Christina Wellen out in left field, Michaela Mitchell at center field, and out and to finish it out of right field, Abigail Knight. After that swing and a miss, count's going to be 1-2 with 1 out already. As Gress looks to strike Jones out, and she will with that swing and a miss.
Impressive start for Sam Gress in the circle for Charlotte today.
UNC looking to make quick work as South Carolina was at the top of the first, trying to get South Carolina back out on the field and get themselves back in the batting box as Anaya Black, the senior out of Georgia, comes to bat here with 400 as her average.
Yeah, Anaya Black was a key offensive weapon last season for the Gamecocks. Finished the year with a .278 batting average, logging 6 home runs and 26 RBIs.
Strike there to start off for Gress. Then count to 0-1 with 2 outs already. No runners on base. Here's the pitch. And it's gonna, and Black's gonna hit it, but it's gonna be a foul ball. Count at 0-2. Black finding herself in the hole here.
As I said, if you're Sam Gress and you can sit down, well, I guess besides Riley Blampede, if you could sit down Canada Jones and Anaya Black, you've done something.
As she faces the bulk of this South Carolina batting. She's going to have a ball there as it was a little high for Winters. Bringing the count to 1-2 with 2 outs. No runners on here at the bottom of the first. As Charlotte leads 1-0. Here's the pitch by Gress. Black's going to make contact, but it's going to be another foul out to third base.
And then on the deck for Carolina, you have a very talented Jen Cummings.
The lefty batter playing catcher for the Gamecocks today. Count 1-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Once again, fouled out to third. Black's keeping herself alive here as she's competing here with Gress.
That's what's impressive about Anaya Black. She was the offensive weapon last season for Carolina. She knows how to battle at the plate, and so she's going to make Sam Gress work for this one.
As she started in a 0-2 hole, finds herself with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gress looks to win this battle. It's going to be another ball here. Going to count 2-2. Black's starting to get a little momentum here.
Looks like some fans on third base line didn't like the call, but that was clearly outside the box.
Low to the left. Another foul ball. That one ends up in the Charlotte dugout.
That's the third one, so if you're the Charlotte coach, you might want to duck. That's 3 foul balls now have made their way into the Charlotte dugout.
Count now remains 2-2 with 2 outs, no runners on. Black fighting this battle and fighting it well. She's going to make contact again, and that hasn't been Black's problem. She's been finding the ball. It's been getting control and enough of it to send it.
Yeah, wind's starting to pick up a little bit, but I don't think it's too much of a factor to where she can't get under it with her shoulder and really send it out there towards center field.
Gress gets the pitch. She steps into this one. It's going to be a ball, and now we have a full count starting at 0-2.
My, how the tables have turned. Full 3-2 count with 2 outs. This is going to be interesting.
Black now feeling the momentum and feeling she has an advantage with her. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a swing and a miss. But she's going to make enough contact, she's going to make enough contact for a foul ball. And that's what Black's been doing this entire at-bat is she's been able to find contact and survive. And now she finds herself at a full count after starting in a hole at 0-2. As the count is now 3-2, full count with 2 outs, no runners on. Here's the pitch. And there's going to be a swing and a miss. 2 straight strikeouts for Gress as she finds herself off to an impressive average as she goes up against the sophomore Jory Hurd, who had herself 2 strikeouts at the top of the first last inning.
I think that's the story of this game so far. You know, here you are, Charlotte, top of the second inning. They're on their 6th hitter. Carolina was 3 up, 3 down.
Carolina was hoping to do the same to Charlotte, but Lexi Winters changed that momentum with a walk, and that kind of started it all for Charlotte. As Washington finds herself in a 1-1 count here in the top of the second with no outs.
Washington from Lauderhill, Florida. Played in 56 games last year, started 50 of those games, and finished the season with an impressive .257 batting average.
Washington now in a 1-2 hole, looking to dig herself out.
Interestingly enough, Washington actually led the Niners last year in walks, logged 38 walks on the season.
She's going to make contact with a foul ball here as it goes up into the stands. Another souvenir for a lucky fan. Count remains 1-2. Hurd sends the pitch. That one's going to be low for a ball, bringing the count to 2-2. So Washington looking to make it a full count. Hurd gets the pitch. That one's going to make contact with the bat, which keeps Washington in the box.
Washington steps over, gets some encouragement from the coaching staff for Charlotte.
Keeping the count at 2-2. Here's the pitch. That was going to be outside, and there's that full count Washington was hoping to gain, and here it is. As you mentioned, one of the most walked players for Charlotte.
She led the Niners last year in walks with 38, but here's another thing. You don't want her on the plate because last season she tied the Charlotte roster in steals. 6 steals on the season.
As she makes contact and gets it to Blankenship, and Blankenship gets it to Black for the easy grounding out there. And that's honestly one of South Carolina's best weapons here in this game and this season has been their field, and especially Brooke Blankenship.
Yeah, you have a very talented Brooke Blankenship at shortstop, but here's the crazy thing. You have a veteran outfielder. You got Marissa Gonzalez in left field, Riley Blampede moving from third out to center field, and then Kiana Jones over in right field.
As Michaela Mitchell, now in the box, starts her count with a strike. And count to 0-1 with 1 out here in the top of the second. No runners on. She evens it out with a ball there, bringing the count to 1-1.
Mitchell from Summerfield, North Carolina.
She's going to foul that ball there.
Mitchell finished the season last year with a .244 batting average.
Looking to match that average here today as she comes in 190 on the season. Count currently 1-2 with 1 out. She's going to make contact again as that one goes over to first base.
You know, we were talking about steals. Mitchell actually tied Ashley Washington, who was previously on or at the plate. They tied each other in steals last year, so this is another player you don't want to put on the plate if you're South Carolina.
So not only do you want to make sure she doesn't make contact, but as you say, you definitely don't want to walk her either. As Hurd throws a ball there, bring the count to 2-2.
Worth noting for her pitches have kind of gone all over the place today, so really trying to find her feel and get into a consistent rhythm here.
And she will there with that swing and a miss for her 3rd strikeout of the day. And now, up at bat, and you don't see this too often, the pitcher for Charlotte, Sam Gress, now up at bat.
Yeah, you don't see that at all, especially this low in the batting lineup. This is your 8th batter.
She's going to read that one well as that pitch was low for a ball. We're going to count to 1-0 with 2 outs. And this is the same position Charlotte found themselves in last inning, and they got a run out of it.
Interestingly enough, Gress has not had any appearances at the plate this season, so interesting move here by Ashley Chastain. Put your pitcher in the batting lineup.
Count currently 1-1 after that strike from Hurd. Umpire had to consult first baseman Ken Jones on if she swung on that one. He calls it safe, bringing the count to 2-1.
This is Gress's 8th appearance at the plate this season.
It's going to be a strike there, bringing the count to 2-2. And Gress, not a whole lot of success so far this season as her average is 0, but that doesn't include RBIs or any of that she has done so far this season.
Well, I can tell you this, Sam Gress, she may not do damage at home plate, but she can definitely do it in the circle. That's one of the best pitchers on that Charlotte roster.
As she hits it to second base, and Shelton gets it to Black as South Carolina goes up, down through that count, going with a clean sweep. There's 3 up, 3 down for South Carolina as Jen Cummings, the catcher, steps up to bat.
Sam Gress certainly has found her rhythm so far in this game.
As we see the first pitch from her this inning, and she's going to start with a strike.
She's found a rhythm, and it looks like she's going to keep it going.
Cummings here up at bat, coming in with a .231 average, 3 runs on the season and 4 RBIs. But that pitch right there is going to make contact with Cummings, as that's going to walk her to first base.
That'll bring up Denver Bryant, the third baseman for South Carolina.
Bryant had herself quite a day yesterday as she had 2 doubles against UMass last night.
Coming in to run for Cummings, looks like that'll be number 8, Kai Ricks. Kai Ricks, she's someone you want on the plate. She was a high school track standout, and she can move.
Kai Ricks out of Fayetteville, Georgia, and as you were saying, that's why Coach Smith puts her on for runners, because of that speed. You can't teach it, and it's hard to stop. Bryant steps in, the right-handed hitter out of Georgia.
As you can see there, Ricks already showing a look to go towards second. Last season, she had 11 stolen bases. That ranks 7th all-time by a freshman at the University of South Carolina.
After that strike, counts 0-1, no outs, and a runner on first. Gress is going to throw a ball there, evening the count, 1-1.
Got Ricks on first, Bryant at the plate, and Reagan Bennett on deck as we move to the middle of the South Carolina lineup. There she goes.
And just like that, Ricks steals second. And as you were saying, the most stolen bases for a freshman in South Carolina history, and she's continuing that success with that speed.
That is a key weapon for South Carolina. When they get on base, they were known last season for stealing bases and playing a very aggressive game. Speed is quite the facet for the Carolina offense.
Count 2-1 with this pitch. That's going to be a ball there, bringing the count to 3-1, advantage Bryant. And Bryant's really picked up her batting recently this weekend, as I mentioned before, 2 doubles yesterday, and she came in this weekend at just above 100, and now she finds herself at 238 as she makes contact there. That's going to be called as a foul ball, bring it to a full count, as Bryant seemed to have hit her foot with the ball.
Interestingly enough, Bryant wasn't brought up playing softball. She was brought up playing baseball. It was later in her high school career that she transitioned from baseball to softball. She was one of the youngest members on the United States women's national baseball team when she joined the development program in the summer of 2017.
Here's the pitch on a full count. That's going to be fouled out to left, and that's one thing a lot of people don't realize is the differences. Yes, they're subtle, but there are differences between baseball and softball.
I think you see that a lot too with how Denver Bryant, swings the bat and approaches the plate. Very interesting.
Full count here for Bryant with a runner on second. As Gress gives her the pitch. And Gress is going to walk her as she does a little celebration and throws up a Tyreek Hill deuce
Wow.
to the catcher.
That was, all right. We got some personalities in this game today. A little peace out. I'll see you when I come back around.
It's 2 walks already here for Gress.
It looks like the Gamecocks coaching staff quickly.
After a ball there, bringing it to a 1-0 count, and Gress, as we mentioned, has walked the 2 batters so far today in this inning. As Bennett shows bunt, she's going to pull back, and Ricks with another steal, and Bryant steals second as well, and she's going to try and steal home as she makes her way to home. And there's that run for South Carolina, and there's the speed from Ricks as Bryant advances to third. 2 stolen bases for both Ricks and Bryant, and Ricks gets to home, and once again, there's that speed out of the sophomore of Ricks.
We talked about how Ricks, she had 11 steals. She just had 2 right here, one of which scored a run.
And that evens this matchup to 1 apiece with that run there by Ricks. Bennett still up at bat with a 1-0 count, now with a runner on third and Bryant. And this inning's really turned this game around on Charlotte. Now with a 2-0 count, Charlotte looking to change these things, but South Carolina still has no outs so far this inning.
Well, if there's somebody that can bring your runner over on third, Denver Bryant, if there's somebody that can bring her in, it would be Reagan Bennett. She had 63 RBIs last season.
And one note to mention about Bennett, with 19 at-bats, she already has 3 home runs so far this season. Count 2-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there, bringing the count to 2-2. Charlotte looking to get their first out of this inning, as they desperately need it, as Bryant's on third for South Carolina. Here's the pitch. And Bennett's going to hit it right to the pitcher and Gress, and Bryant's trying to make her decision, but she wisely said, I'm going to stay here, as Charlotte gets their first out after that hit right to Gress, as she gets it to the first baseman and Ariana Rohde. And it looks like the coaching staff for Charlotte's going to come out and talk to Gress in that infield for Charlotte. And South Carolina's going to do the same for their hitters and Bryant.
Yeah, Ashley Chastain, as you would imagine, not pleased with the circumstance that the 49ers find themselves in. And the crazy thing about it is South Carolina has put themselves in this situation not by anything spectacular, by simple small ball and walks.
And from there, taking advantage with their speed, as we mentioned, is a big factor and weapon for South Carolina. From Ricks and Bryant. Now up at bat for South Carolina, Marissa Gonzalez out of Kingsburg, California, the junior. Gonzalez hoping to bring Bryant in so Bryant can say hello to that catcher and winners one more time this inning.
Gonzalez finished the season last year with a .259 batting average.
She comes into this one with a .217 as that one's fouled out behind home plate. It hits the roof of the press box.
Yeah, that previous game earlier, we had one fly up this way.
That game being between the JMU Dukes and the Minutewomen of UMass. Now with an 0-1 count with 1 out, runner on third. Gress steps into the pitch. And that one's going to be bunted as they try and get the runner, and they will. But Gonzalez is going to get herself on first base, but Bryant adamant about herself being safe, but the umpire is going to overrule and call her out. A little change of momentum there.
Yeah.
Here. Charlotte now finding themselves with 2 outs and getting the runner out.
Quite.
Try to get home.
Quite the hustle by Gress to get the ball right across the plate to Winters for the tag there in time.
Carly Shelton now up at bat, the freshman out of Lexington, South Carolina herself, homegrown talent. So there's going to be a strike to start off the count, as it was as far left as it could be. Bringing the count to 0-1.
And as we said earlier, interestingly enough, Carly Shelton, her mother played softball for Charlotte, and her dad played baseball for Charlotte, but I can guarantee you no green on them today.
As Marissa's going to get to second, but that's going to be no good, as Shelton's going to be out at 143 average. Hurd still up in the circle. She had herself another strikeout. Here's that first pitch, and it's going to be a strike. Hurd already with 3 strikeouts today. Bringing the count to 0-1. There's a ball there, one apiece, and you can tell Denver Bryant moving herself up from third base to prevent any ground ball getting past her.
I was about to say, they must know something about wind, the way this formation is for the Gamecock infield.
She fouls that ball there, finding herself in a 1-0 hole, 1-2 hole. Here with no outs and no runners on. The sophomore out of Lancaster, South Carolina. And she's going to hit that one out to right field for Kiana Jones, and she's going to get under that for the easy pop fly out. And now back at the top of the batting order here for Charlotte, Abigail Knight, their leading batter coming into the day, but now second with a 349 average out of Robinsonsville, North Carolina.
Knight, one of the 3 batters that Jory Hurd has set down today.
Excuse me, it's Robbinsville. As she fouls that one out to third base, bringing the count to 0-1.
Knight, one of the 3 transfers on this Charlotte roster. She joins Leah Powell, who transferred from South Carolina, and Christina Wellen, who transferred from Florida. Knight herself transferring from Boston College.
Count is now standing at 1-1. Knight's last at bat, she was struck out by Hurd. Hurd looking to repeat after that swing and a miss, bringing it to a 1-2 count. With 8 seconds on this pitch clock, Hurd steps into it. And Knight's going to make contact, keeping herself alive on that foul ball there. Keeping the count at 1-2. Knight awaiting the pitch. Here it comes. That one's going to be high and inside, evening the count to 2 apiece. Knight looking to make this a full count. And she will here. Some fans here for South Carolina not so much agreeing with that call, but it's going to be a full count for Knight, as she's going to look to win this duel between her and Hurd. And she's going to hit that one right to Black at first base, and she's going to get her out for a grounding out. And now up at bat, Corey Hoffler, who had herself a grounding out her last at bat. The 5th-year player out of Harrisburg, North Carolina. Stepping in with a 262 average. She already has herself 6 runs on the season.
Yeah, that was one of the only outs that the Gamecocks have had with this batting lineup besides sitting them down. Because if they can make contact with the ball, it can do damage.
With that ball there, bringing the count to 1-0. With 2 outs, we're at the top of the 3rd. Hoffler's going to make contact there, but it's going to be fouled right over the South Carolina dugout. Cummings retrieves the ball, gets it back to Hurd. We're looking to settle down and get Hoffler in a 1-2 hole. Here's the pitch, and she'll do just that.
Looks like Jory Hurd is starting to find her rhythm in the circle. Very consistent getting her across the plate. This will be a good one to sit down right here.
As you mentioned earlier in this game, she was a little erratic with her pitches, but as you're saying, right over the base, and Hoffler's going to make contact, but it's going to be an easy grounding out once again for Black. And with that, and then team kind of tightened up with some quick outs.
Gress will have her hands full with a very talented Brooke Blankenship.
Blankenship coming in with a 382 average. She's going to start off with a strike.
Blankenship had the best batting average for South Carolina last year. Finished the game with a 300, or finished the season with a 300 batting average.
As we hear the trains of Columbia pass through, Blankenship's going to hit that one right over to third base, and it's going to be 2 errors there, and she's going to get to first. Excuse me, they call that one fair. And just that ball being a little high for the third baseman, Ella Casey, and then Savannah Wynn tried to come over and make it up, and neither of them were able to get a grasp of it, and gets Blankenship over to first. And now up at bat, Riley Blampede, the star of the show in this batting order for South Carolina.
Blampede had a pop fly over towards second base earlier in the game.
After that ball there, Blampede now has a 1-0 advantage with a runner on first. She's going to make contact there with a foul ball going behind home plate, bringing the count to 1-1.
And as we said earlier, South Carolina likes to play aggressive and steal bases. You can see that as Brooke Blankenship showing some different looks there on first, like she's ready to head to second with a steal at any moment now.
That stealing ability is what got South Carolina their first run of the game today. So here's the pitch, and Blampede's going to foul it over to third base, and Blankenship thought she had it, and she took off and would have made it to second base if that ball was fair.
As you said earlier, Riley Blampede has the highest batting average on this South Carolina lineup with a 460.
Blampede with a 1-2 count as Gress tries to strike her out. She won't there. Count will be 2-2 with a runner on first.
Kiana Jones next up to bat for the Gamecocks.
The right fielder for South Carolina. Gress with the pitch. Blampede's going to foul that one as well. And again, Blankenship itching to get to second. Count now 2 apiece. Gress with the pitch. Blampede's going to make contact, and a lot of these foul balls have been going right into Charlotte's dugout.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Good reflexes there, I guess, by the Charlotte coaching staff.
Count remains 2 apiece as Gress looks to strike out Blampede. Pitch. That was going to be inside, bring it to a full count, as Blampede had to tuck herself away and dodge that one. You know, they say if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, but if you can dodge a softball as well, that's something to be impressed by. And Blampede's going to hit that one right, drive out to center field, and she's going to advance both Blampede and herself one base as she finds herself on first.
Blankenship now at second.
Now put bat for South Carolina, Kiana Jones with a 375 average, and we just saw from Blampede that average showing off with her being the most consistent hitter for this South Carolina team with that Line drive out to center. Jones bunting, trying to advance everyone, and she will.
Doing exactly what she needed to do there, as now you have Blampy going to second, Blankenship at third, and just like that, the Gamecocks are in a scoring position as Anaya Black now comes to the plate.
Anaya Black getting struck out her last appearance, but South Carolina only with one out and a runner on third and a runner on second, and Blankenship and Blampede. South Carolina looking to take advantage again, as last time they were in this situation, they got one run. He's going to start off with the ball here. Bring the count to 1-0.
Nia Black's already had 14 RBIs this season. She logged 26 total last year.
No one better to bring in a runner. Here's the pitch. She's going to swing and miss that one. Give herself her first strike here.
And if you remember, last time these two met, Gress and Black, it was quite the battle.
Black keeping herself alive the entire time, but she would eventually be struck out by Gress. Black awaits the pitch. And she's going to make contact again as Gress and Black battling once again. Count now at a 1-2 advantage for Gress with one out already, but this is the same situation Black found herself in over back in the first inning. And as you were saying, she kept herself alive and survived for as long as she could. Gress with the pitch. Black's going to make contact once again, as that one goes out of the stadium for a foul ball.
Worth noting, Gress is quickly approaching 50 pitches, and in the bullpen for Charlotte is Katie Becker, so won't be long. You could probably expect to see a pitching change.
Here's the pitch. Black going to make contact again, and once again into the dugout of Charlotte.
And quite the workout for the coaches and players right there at the Charlotte dugout entrance.
I hope they're wearing helmets in there. Count 1-2 with one out. You're at the bottom of the third with a runner on third and a runner on second for South Carolina. Here's the pitch. Black's going to hit that one right to Gress. He's going to hit her in the shin, and Blankenship's going to get home. Blampede's going to advance to third, and Black's going to get to first, but it looks like Gress got hit in the shin. She's holding that shin as she's down. Coaching staff for Charlotte coming out. And we'll be back here after this break.
Well, if there's anybody that knows anything about pitching in this game, it would be coach for Charlotte, Ashley Chastain. She led South Carolina in starts, innings pitched, and ERA during her junior season. She pitched for the Gamecocks from 2009 to 2011.
As we have a little runner substitution, and Emma Sellers coming in for Anaya Black as Jen Cummings steps into the box with a runner on first and third. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a swing and a miss. But Sellers is going to advance and get to second, or so she believes so, but they're going to have her come back. As the count's now 0-1 with one out. Sellers not too happy about that call. Here's the pitch from Gress. She's going to hit it right to second. They're going to try and get it home. But Blampede's going to duck under winners and find herself home as South Carolina takes a 3-2 run advantage here in the bottom of the third. And now South Carolina with a runner on second and first. Now with Denver Bryant in the box, going to look to continue this lead.
Quite the move by Blampede to duck quickly and slide in to the home plate in time to give South Carolina that 3-1 lead.
Denver Bryant, her last appearance, she was walked, and she made sure the Charlotte 49ers knew about it. There's going to be a ball there to start.
I remember we talked about that as we went off air. You know, she gets the walk, gives a peace out sign but then when she tried to come in, sliding in, she wasn't there in time. And so it looks like the catcher had the upper hand in that one.
Count 1-0 with 1 out. It's going to be another ball there. Bring the count to a 2-out advantage for Bryant. Bryant looking to walk again. Gress still looking to bounce back after that injury break after getting hit in the shin against Anaya Black. Bryant's going to hit that one to third for an easy out at third, but she's going to get herself to first. So no change in terms of on base for South Carolina as Sellers is out at third, but South Carolina still remains to have a runner on first and second. Now up at bat, Regan Bennett.
Very impressive performance by Regan Bennett as a freshman. This is her 19th appearance at the plate, and already this season, a .444 batting average.
As she fouls that one out to third base. Bryant looking to get all the way to second as she was 3/4 of the way there.
Interestingly enough, Bennett's a dual threat softball player rather. She was the Michigan Softball Gatorade Player of the Year last year. And she's also, not only can she hit, but she's also not a bad pitcher.
Bryant, the third baseman for the Gamecocks. As it counts 0-1 with 2 outs. Bennett's going to foul that one as well, putting herself in an 0-2 hole with 2 outs. But again, quite the turnaround here for the Gamecocks as they started 3 up, 3 down, and now in the past 2 innings, they've been able to get runners home.
The tables have certainly turned, but you don't sleep on this Charlotte team.
0-2 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch, and Bennett's going to hit this one out to left field, and it could be, and it won't get out there, but they're going to call it a home run. Bennett's 4th of the season as that one hits the post out in left field. And just like that, South Carolina with 3 more runners as they take a 6-1 lead. As we saw, that ball was traveling and it looked like it had the power, and it hits the white post out in left field. And they called a home run, and that brings in 3 runs for South Carolina. Now in the box, Marissa Gonzalez. South Carolina with 2 outs.
And it looks just like that Ashley Chastain is ready to make a change from the bullpen. And it looks like we are going to see, I believe it will be Katie Becker that's going to come into the game. Looks like there might be a couple of other changes as well. Looks like they're putting in a new player in right field, and I think it's going to be London Dirks. And actually coming in for UNC Charlotte is Georgiana Barefoot, and she has been in the cleanup position this weekend for Charlotte and has done quite the work.
Barefoot with 14.2 innings of play with a 1.43 ERA.
Barefoot got the start in yesterday's 2-1 victory against South Alabama. She pitched 3 scoreless innings before her departure in the 4th. But then she helped the Niners maintain their edge in their 4-1 win against James Madison, as she got 7 outs from the 4th to the 6th inning. So she's someone who can come in, do the damage that needs to be done, and put Charlotte in a good position. And now would be the time to do that, like you said, after that home run. So if there's somebody who can really turn the tide and get things back in the favor of UNC Charlotte, this would be quite the start by putting Barefoot in the circle for the 49ers.
Charlotte still with plenty of time to come back in this, as it's only the bottom of the third, as they're trying to take down ranked 18 South Carolina here in Columbia, South Carolina, to end their weekend here.
And as we said earlier, UNC Charlotte has experience taking down top 25 teams. They took down 3 last season alone. They would like to take down 1 today against the Gamecocks.
Charlotte was the underdog in all those games, as Gonzalez is going to foul that one over the press box.
That could have done damage if it had gone in the other direction. That was a very aggressive swing by Gonzalez.
South Carolina finding their rhythm here, batting-wise. Ball there, bringing the count to 1 apiece with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, with South Carolina with 5 runs so far this inning, following the home run from Bennett, bringing in herself and 2 others. 1-1 count. That's going to be a swing and a miss for Gonzalez, bringing the count to 1-2. Barefoot needing to get in her rhythm as quick as she can and end this inning for Charlotte. And right there, on cue, strikeout by Barefoot.
Back and win, but I think that was quite the statement with the home run there.
Lexi Winters now up at bat. Her only appearance was a walk. As there's a ball to start off the count here. Joy Hurd still the pitcher in the circle for South Carolina. As last inning, Charlotte made a pitching change after Gress got hit in the shin, and she just wasn't pitching the same after that.
Lexi Winters last season actually broke the record, a single game record for RBIs. She logged 7 RBIs in Charlotte's game against Middle Tennessee last year. She's already logged 6 RBIs total this season.
Following that strike brings Winters' count to a 1-2 here at the top of the fourth, as she leads off the batting order for this inning. With a pitch. She's going to foul that one out into the stands by first base, and 3 little children in the stands wrestling for it.
Winters, the third best batter on, yeah, that's correct, the third best batter on this Charlotte team. 314 batting average.
Umpire's going to consult his first base umpire, and they're going to call it safe, calling it a ball, bringing the count to 2 apiece. Here's the pitch. Gonna be another ball, bring it to a full count. Winters looking to walk once again today. And this is really where that run for Charlotte started back in the first inning, with Winters walking. And there's that walk.
Winters, the only run that Charlotte has had the entire game.
As she made her way home back in the first inning. And now up at bat, Ariana Rohde. As the catcher Cummings goes up to Hurd, tries to calm her down, settle in, as Hurd got on quite a streak last inning. With Rohde now up at bat, and she had herself a double her last appearance.
Rohde has the second best batting average on this Charlotte roster, a 371. This her 36th appearance at the plate so far this season. In the previous 35, she has logged 13 hits, 2 doubles, and 5 home runs.
Well, she starts her count with a ball, bringing it to 1-0, and a runner on first. She's going to foul that one here, bringing the evening count to 1 apiece. Count 1 apiece here at the top of the fourth. Runner on first. Hurd looking to add a strike. She won't there, but Winters is going to try and steal second, and she will. Low throw there by Cummings, and Blankenship couldn't get under it. As Winters advances to second.
Now you've got a runner on second, your current batter with a 2-1 count. It's worth noting that Joy Hurd is fastly approaching 70 pitches. So you could expect to probably see somebody entering the circle soon for the Gamecocks to relieve Joy Hurd.
Hurd playing a full game last night against the men and women of UMass. That's going to be a ball there, bringing Rohde's count to 3-1. As Rohde's hoping to walk here after having a double her last appearance.
Worth noting the Gamecocks do have some people in the bullpen. Not quite sure who that is. There is somebody warming up currently as we speak.
I believe that is the freshman, Sage Marjetko.
Marjetko has found herself in the cleanup spot this season. Would be a great pitcher to put out there if you're South Carolina to finish this thing off.
Rhodey with a full count as she fouls that one there. And once again goes into the stands for a lucky girl in the crowd. Full count here, top of the fourth, runner on second. No outs. Here's the pitch. And fouled once again out to third base.
Looks like Anaya Black gonna come have a chat with Joy Hurd. Give her some encouragement to finish this thing off as we're now at a full count.
Hurd looking for her fourth strikeout of the day. Here it is. Fouled once again for Rhodey, and Rhodey battling here with Hurd.
Like we said with Hurd, you got a fastball, changeup, drop ball. She can show a different look, but it has not fooled Ariana Rhodey at all.
It's going to be that pitch is going to be low for a ball, and that's going to walk Rhodey.
So now Joy Hurd, just like that, has walked two players, or two batters rather, and you have one on second, one on first, 0 outs.
Now up at bat, Ella Chansey.
Chansey, a junior from Athens, Georgia. Played and started in 58 games last season.
Chansey already with 3 RBIs. And she's going to hit that one right to Blankenship at shortstop, and she's going to get to Shelton at second and to Black at first. And they're going to get Rhodey out at second, but Chansey's going to be safe at first, and now Charlotte with Winters on third and Chansey on first. They're going to look to bring in a runner here after a great play by Blankenship and a great play by Shelton. It just wasn't enough and enough time to make it happen. Now up at bat, Ashley Washington, but Coach Beverly Smith's going to go out there and talk to her pitcher as the infield Blankenship. That first pitch there to Washington, it's going to be a little too far inside to the left. It's going to be a ball. Hurd currently sitting at a 1.25 ERA. Washington with a 150 average. Once again, that ball is going to be inside. Bring the count to 2-0. Advantage Washington.
We can confirm that is Sage Martijetko in the Gamecock bullpen that is warming up, so you could expect a relief coming very soon for Joy Hurd.
That is if Hurd can't turn this around here soon. Once again, a ball. Bring it to a 3-0 count. Or, oh, excuse me, a strike. As my analyst just pointed out to me, bringing the count to 2-1.
It looked like a ball, but the umpire was quick there, or rather late, to change that to a strike.
Washington's going to hit it to Bryant out at third, but Bryant's going to get it to first for the second out, but Charlotte's going to get themselves a run in Winters, and that'll be her second run here in this game, bringing the lead a little closer, or the disadvantage a little closer, now trailing 6-2.
Michaela Mitchell, Jory Hurd sat her down in the second.
Ball there, the start. Charlotte with a runner on second.
Mitchell, the outfielder from Summerfield, North Carolina.
Strike there for Hurd, evening the count to 1 apiece with 2 outs here at the top of the fourth. Hurd gained the pitch with 8 seconds left. She sends it in for a ball. Bring the count to 2-1. With that pitch there, it's going to be another ball. Bring the count to 3-1 advantage. Mitchell.
Joy Hurd now in 80-plus pitches this game.
And with that foul ball there by Mitchell, it's going to bring it to a full count. Full count here, 2 outs. Hurd looking to strike Mitchell out once again for her 4th of the day. That's going to be fouled behind home plate, keeping Mitchell alive here up at the plate with a runner on second.
A lot of signals coming right now from the Gamecock dugout.
Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit right to Hurd, and Shelton's going to get it, and she's going to try and get to Black, but not in time as Mitchell advances to first and gets Casey to third.
Looks like Kelsey a little shaken up there.
Coach Smith talking to the umpire.
Yeah, Carly Shelton a little shaken up, it looks like. She looks fine now, but when the ball came, she wasn't quick to turn around and get it to first in time.
And right there, we're going to see Joy Hurd take a step down, and now up in the circle, Alana Valder. I believe I'm pronouncing that right.
Elena Valder.
Elena
Valder, a talented pitcher to finish this game out. She transferred from Stanford. Last season she went 25-14, 27 complete games, 11 shutouts, and finished the season with a 1.97 ERA for 164 strikeouts and 227 innings. She led the Pac-12 in wins and shutouts. Talk about a pickup in the transfer portal if you're Beverly Smith.
And that just shows the kind of program that Smith has built here in Columbia, South Carolina, where you bring in that kind of talent, a grad student. Instead of her finishing her career at Stanford, she comes here and finishes it here in Columbia.
Worth noting, too, with the situation we find ourselves in, Valder held opponents to 2 or less hits in 10 appearances in the circle last season for Stanford.
Valder came into this weekend with 24 strikeouts on the season, second to only Sage Marjetko.
Very, very talented bullpen by South Carolina.
And now up at bat, London Dirks in place of the pitcher for Charlotte, Sam Gress. As Sam Gress seemed to have been shaken up last inning after getting hit in the shin. South Carolina looking for one more out. Vada's going to start her day with a strike. Charlotte with a runner on first and a runner on third. Here's the pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball. Evening the count to 1 apiece, 2 outs. In the top of the 4th, with a runner on first and third.
London Dirks stepping in the 8th spot for Charlotte, filling that spot that was previously held by Sam Gress, the pitcher for the 49ers. Not very common you see that.
There'll be another strike there on Dirks, bringing the count to 1-2. Valder looking to start her day with a strikeout.
Dirks, not a bad freshman year. 31 games, 8 starts, finished season with a .231 batting average.
And a swing and a miss to start the day for Valder, a strikeout. And that's going to end the top of the 4th for Charlotte as Georgianne Barefoot came in for Sam Gress. Now up at bat for South Carolina. Carly Shelton. That first pitch there being a ball. And South Carolina almost making it through their entire batting order last inning. With the count 1-0. Here in the bottom of the fourth. And Shelton's going to hit that one, but they're going to call it foul. The Winners plays it as if it was in fair play. Bring the count to 1 apiece. Shelton's going to swing and hit that one for a foul once again, bringing the count to 1-2.
I know we pointed it out earlier that Carly Shelton is from Lexington, South Carolina. We said her parents both played for Charlotte. Her father played baseball. The mother played softball. But interestingly enough, Carly Shelton graduated high school a year early to enroll here at South Carolina. But she hung up a very good career at Lexington High School. She was on the All-State team and was the Region 4 Player of the Year.
As she hits that one out to left field. And Christina Wellens going to get under that one for an easy out.
That'll take us back to the top of the South Carolina lineup, where we'll find, we're at the very bottom, but let me skip over a talented Brooke Blankenship.
Excuse me, that was Abigail Knight. She moved over from right field to left as London Dirk stepped in at right field. As Blankenship hits that one foul, bringing the count to 0-1 with 1 out for South Carolina.
Blankenship had a single there in the third inning, and then of course was brought in by the home run to help Carolina cushion that lead to a 6-2.
Blankenship's what started that all off for them. That's going to be a strike right there as Barefoot has Blankenship down 0-2 with 1 out already in this inning.
I know we noted it earlier, Barefoot quite the cleanup pitcher for Charlotte.
As she has her first strikeout of the day, or second strikeout of the day, excuse me.
Impressive move there to sit down a very talented Brooke Blankenship as she approaches now. Barefoot approaches the top of the South Carolina lineup, where we find Riley Blampede.
Blampede 1 for 1 today with a single last inning. She's going to start her count with a ball here, bringing it to 1-0 with 2 outs, no runners on. Here in the bottom of the fourth. Blampede's going to foul that one, evening the count 1 apiece. Blampede with over 50 appearances at bat so far this season, batting .460 with 1 home run and 15 runs. Pitch by Barefoot. It's going to be outside again.
Blampede finished the season last year for South Carolina second on the team in home runs. She logged 17 home runs last season, has already logged 1 this year.
She's going to foul that ball there. Evening count to 2 apiece, 2 outs. Barefoot's going to look to close out this inning for South Carolina. Now Charlotte's looking to fight their way back from a 6-2 disadvantage. Blampede's going to hit that one right to second. That's going to get right there to Rhodey, and that's going to be an easy ground and out for Charlotte, and that's going to end the 4-year transfer out of Stanford as she faces Savannah Wynn. Wynn's second appearance today as she had a pop fly out back in the 3rd inning. It's going to be a swing and a miss to start.
Primarily, Valder relies on a drop ball and a drop change.
She's known for controlling her pitches. There'll be a ball there. Bring it to 1 apiece.
She has a very impressive fastball that can reach into the upper 60s. As we said, very talented pitcher who stood out in the Pac-12 last season.
It's going to be a foul ball there for Wynn as Wynn steps up to the plate with a 143 average. count currently 1-2 here at the top of the fifth. South Carolina leads it 6-2. She's going to foul that one as well as it almost hits the batter on deck,
That's
Abigail Knight.
Yeah, Abigail Knight from Robbinsville, North Carolina. There's been a lot of foul balls over towards the on-deck circle or even into the dugout of Charlotte.
The Charlotte 49ers showing great reflexes. That's going to be a swing and a miss. Valder's second strikeout of the day, second in a row. Now after dodging a foul ball, Abigail Knight steps up to the plate. Her first time against Valder today.
Joy Hurd sat Knight down in the first inning, and then Knight was out after a ground ball in the third. Ground ball to first base. See if she can find her rhythm today.
Was not off to a great start there with a strike. We're going to count to 0-1 with an out.
But don't let kind of the inconsistency today fool you, because Abigail Knight has a .349 batting average in her 43 appearances at the plate.
That'd be a swing and a miss there for Knight. Bring it to 0-2 hole for her. Valder looking to get her third strikeout of the day, 3 in a row. Right here. It's going to be a foul ball there as Knight stays alive. And lucky for her, because right as she made contact, she questioned it. But because of the contact, it keeps her alive here.
Worth noting that wind that was picking up earlier in this game has now died down.
Now have a beautiful afternoon, warm weather here in Columbia, South Carolina. After that ball there by Valder, bringing it to a 1-2 count. Valder gets the pitch from Coach Smith. She checks her wrist, steps into it. And it's going to be another foul ball by Knight. A lot of Valder's pitches favoring the left side away from Knight, and Knight's able to make contacts, keeping herself alive. Valder now's the pitch with 16 seconds on the pitch clock. And Knight's going to foul that one out to first, as it'll make its way to the warning track out in right field.
Quite the battle here by Abigail Knight and Elena Valder.
Count 1-2 with one out here in the top of the fifth. South Carolina leads 6-2. Umpire calls it a ball, evening the count to 2 apiece. Knight already with 1 strikeout today. Valder looking to make it 3 straight. And that's going to foul that one over to the above the dugout of Charlotte, as we've usually seen them go into the dugout. So nice change of pace for the Charlotte 49ers dugout-wise. Count remains 2 apiece. 1 out for Charlotte, no runners on. And that ball's hit right to second base and Shelton. Shelton's going to get to Black for an easy ground and out against Knight. Her second play like that today, as she advances to a 0-3 on the day. Now up bat, Corey Hoffler.
Hoffler had a ground ball in the first and then another one in the third.
Hoffler's first appearance here against Valder. Hoffler having a similar fate to Knight back in the 3rd inning. As Valder's going to start the count with a ball.
Hoffler with a .262 batting average and 42 appearances at the plate.
a 1-0 count, 2 outs. Here at the top of the 5th. That ball's going to be hit to Blankenship at shortstop, and she's going to get to Black, and just in time for the out. Great play there by Blankenship.
Yeah, you're exactly right. 3 up, 3 down in the 4th inning for Georgiana Barefoot. Known for being a talented closeout pitcher for the 49ers.
And she's showing that so far today here. She's going to start off with a ball, giving Jones a 1-0 count here in the bottom of the 5th. South Carolina leading it 6-2. And Jones is going to foul that one out to third, evening the count.
At least that foul ball went out to the bullpen and not to the dugout.
Once again, a change of pace for the 49ers today, as most of these foul balls have been going right into the dugout. Jones is going to foul that one there, bring it to a 1-2 count here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch here, swing and a miss, but it's going to, it's going to be a foul ball. Jones just getting enough of it to count as a foul. Count remaining 1-2. As Jones now looks to survive this at-bat. She's going to hit that one right to shortstop. She's going to get it. She's going to get it all the way to Rodian. They're going to, Wynn is going to get it to Rhodey just in time for the out.
She thought she'd gotten there just in time. Very close call there at first base.
Anaya Black now up at bat. She had a single last time, but this is her first appearance against Barefoot. That ball's going to be just inside, enough for a strike. Bring it to a 0-1 count with 1 out. Black helping lead that surge of runs for South Carolina back in the 3rd inning. Oh, 2 count after the foul.
Black, like we said earlier in this game, key offensive weapon for the Gamecocks.
Black, the first baseman for South Carolina, with a 1-2 count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, and she's going to hit that one right down to center field, and it has potential, but Mitchell's going to get under it for the pop fly out.
That really looked like it had the potential to do the damage, but just not enough.
South Carolina now with 2 outs, with Jen Cummings now up at bat. Barefoot looking to go through 3 up, 3 down once again against South Carolina, giving these Niners a chance and keeping them in the game.
Jen Cummings, a .231 batting average, but she scored 2 of the 6 runs that the Gamecocks have. Scored 1 in the 2nd, then another one in the 3rd.
Ball to start, bring it to a 1-0 count with 2 outs, no runners on here in the bottom of the 5th. Cummings is going to foul that one out into the stands of first base, as children run to get the ball and keep it as a souvenir. Bring it to a 1-1 count, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, no runners on. Swing and a miss there for Cummings. Bring it to a 1-2 count. Here's the ball, and she's going to foul that one, keeping herself alive. One, 2 count, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Barefoot's pitch, and that's another swing and a miss, and that's 3 up, 3 down twice for Barefoot. Comes in for Kiana Jones out in right field, and Baudert still in the circle, up at bat. Lexi Winters. Winters, the only 49er with 2 runs today. She's the only one who's made it into home today, as South Carolina leads it 6-2. Going to be a ball there to start, bringing count to 1-0 here in the top of the 6th. But Varda's going to make up for it with a strike right after. And since both Charlotte and South Carolina have made pitching changes, neither of them have allowed runners on base.
Two very good closeout pitchers in this game right now, with Barefoot for Charlotte and Valder for South Carolina. Like you said, nobody's touched the base with these two in the circle.
Second strike there from Valder. They can get her third strikeout of the day. That's going to be fouled right over to third base as Bryant picks it up and gets it to Valder. Winner steps out of the box to compose herself and calm down as she steps back in with a 1-2 count. Advantage Valder. Valder gets a pitch from her wrist. Looks Winters down, steps into it. That ball's going to be hit out to right field, but it's going to be fouled. And you saw the speed from Henderson there. She covered all that ground, and Henderson actually comes from a athletic bloodline and family tree. Her father, a high school coach in Georgia, and her grandfather, a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
That's right. Played for the Detroit Lions, I believe.
1-2 count for Winters. Be a ball there. South Carolina fans none too pleased with that. Evening the count to 2 apiece.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Henderson's grandfather, of course, NFL Hall of Famer. I believe he was the O-lineman for the Detroit Lions.
For all you Lions fans with the brand new Lions under MCDC, as Winters hits that out to left field, and Gonzalez is going to get under that one for an easy pop fly out. In Winters' previous 2 appearances, she was walked. Now with a pop fly out, and at bat now, Ariana Rohde. Rohde with a double in her first appearance and a walk her second. Rohde here, the best batter for the 49ers, as she starts with a strike and an 0-1 count with 1 out here at the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there. Putting her in an 0-2 hole.
A loss today for Charlotte will snap the 3-game winning streak that they are on. They play UNC Greensboro on Wednesday before hosting the Queen City Classic in Charlotte next weekend, where they will take on another ranked opponent from the SEC, number 15, Kentucky.
Charlotte came in today 8-5, where South Carolina came in 12-2. Following the ball there, Valder looking to strike Rohde out. That's going to be grounded to second and Sheldon's going to get to Black for an easy grounding out there. And Black's been on it with these catches. She hasn't mishandled many of them.
Not at all. She's been quite the playmaker for the Gamecocks, both on offense and on defense.
Ella Chansey now up at bat today. In her last appearance, she got a single. This is going to be her first time seeing Valder today. Charlotte with 2 outs at the top of the 6th, down 6-2. Chansey's going to hit that one out to center, and Sheldon's going to get under that one for an easy pop fly out. Sheldon making 2 plays back-to-back there for the Gamecocks, ending the inning for Charlotte, and South Carolina will be up at bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back here to Columbia, South Carolina, where Denver Bryant up at bat here for the Gamecocks. It's Barefoot sends the first pitch, and that won't be a strike. South Carolina leading 6-2 here in the bottom of the 6th, looking to close out here. But Barefoot's going to send another strike there. Count now 0-2 for Bryant. First ball there for the count, bring it to 1-2, no outs. Bryant's last appearance, she made a single, or had a single. Before that, she was walked. Another ball there, evening the count to 2 apiece. Barefoot sitting in the pitch. And Bryant's gonna hit that one right out to center to Mitchell, and she'll make the routine catch for an easy out right there against Bryant. Now up at bat, Regan Bennett. One of the best batters for the Gamecocks, as we've mentioned today. Her count's going to start out 0-1 with an out here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a ball there to even the count 1 apiece. Bennett's going to hit that one back into the stands. So a lot of fans have been getting lucky today with these foul balls, getting souvenirs that they can take home. Count 1-2 with an out. Barefoot looks to make it 2 outs. But Bennett's going to stay alive here with that foul ball. South Carolina hitting 200 for the day. Bennett's going to hit that one as well, keeping herself alive. As we mentioned today, Barefoot coming in with a 1.43 ERA after that swing and a miss by Bennett for her 3rd strikeout here of the day. Now to bat, Marissa Gonzalez. She was struck out in her last appearance all the way back in the 3rd inning. First pitch here, and she's going to hit that one right in between center and right. That's going to land on the warning track, and Gonzalez is going to advance all the way to second base for the double. Gonzalez, great change of pace here for her after being struck out in her last appearance, but now up at bat, Carly Shelton. Shelton, the freshman out of Lexington, South Carolina, homegrown. Her family, Charlotte royalty. And she's going to hit that one, a drive out to center field, and Gonzalez is going to try to get to home, and she will. As Shelton gets to first, and Gonzalez advances to home. Just what the Gamecocks needed as their lead advances to 7-2. Now up at bat, Brooke Blankenship. But it looks like Coach Smith is going to talk with the umpire real quick. And actually, we have a change in batter. We're up at bat. Bree Warren, the transfer from out of Texas A&M. As the former Aggie looks to take her first at bat here today. Bree Warren, the redshirt junior from College Station, Texas. Bree Warren stepping into the box with a runner on first. South Carolina already with a run this inning with 2 outs. That's going to be a strike there from Barefoot here in the bottom of the 6th. South Carolina at the bottom of their batting order now. Another strike there. Warren now in an 0-2 hole. Oh, 2 hole here with 2 outs, run on first, and a swing and a miss. The 4th strikeout there by Barefoot. Alina Vodert, or Alana Vodert, excuse me. Vodert has been playing lights out so far since she's come in, not allowing a single runner on base, and Ashley Washington coming up to bat 0-2. As South Carolina is here leading 7-2 at the top of the 7th, looking to get their first win against Charlotte, and the last 2 appearances going to Charlotte in the contest. Ball to start, counts 1-0. Another ball there, giving Washington a 2-0 advantage. Washington coming up to bat with a 143 average. Vodder with the pitch, steps into it. There's a strike there by Vodder, her first of the inning. Here in the top of the 7th, where South Carolina leads it 7-2. Charlotte's last opportunity to get runs and advance this game. Another strike there, evening the count to 2 apiece. Vodder looking to strike Washington out. As Washington's making her first appearance against Vodder. Seven seconds left on the pitch clock. Washington's gonna hit it right in between center and left. But Blampede's gonna get under it right in the warning track, as that ball had potential, but Blampede able to get there for the pop fly out. Great play there by Blampede, running over there like a free safety, covering all that ground. Little change here in the batting order for Charlotte. Up at bat now, as we get a second to get the name. Raina Blackwell, the freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Now up at bat, making her first appearance today. But before that, Coach Smith's gonna talk to her graduate pitch, putting Blackwell in an 0-2 hole with 1 out here in the top of the 7th, where South Carolina leads it 7-2. Here's the pitch. That ball's gonna get hit to the left, to the third base, Bryant, and she's gonna get it to Black at first with another ground and out. South Carolina now with 2 outs to their advantage. And once again, another batting change here for Charlotte, as the double zeros, as double zero steps in, Kaya Garrett. Kaya Garrett, the senior out of Johns Creek, Georgia, making her first appearance today. That's gonna be a swing and a miss. We can count 0-1 with 2 outs, no runners on here in the top of the 7th. If Vodder can strike Garrett out here, that'll be the game. As South Carolina looks to snap Charlotte's 3-game win streak and get their first win against Charlotte in the last 3 matches. And another strike there, bringing the count to 0-2. Vodder looking to get her 3rd strikeout of the day to end the game. Vodder stares it down, pitches, and a swing and a miss to end the game. South Carolina wins this game 7-2 and advances to 13-2 on the season, as Charlotte falls, ending the 3-game win streak.